So let's get a bit into how you're going to use this pattern. Let's say Erica is making this skirt and she's got a waist circumference of 75 centimeters. That means that W equals 75 for her. So going from top to bottom, her measurements for D will be 75 centimeters lengthwise plus seam allowance, so about 77 centimeters. The height here doesn't matter as long as when you fold it in half, you have enough fabric to comfortably sew two parallel lines. Her measurements for E will be 75 plus 15 equals 90 centimeters. I calculated the height by the looks of it. When folded in half, should aesthetically look pleasing along with the rest of your skirt. In my skirt, it is 6.5 centimeters when folded in half, so all of it laying flat along with the seam allowance should have been about 14 centimeters. Moving on to the three tires, A, B and C. Again, for this scenario, Erica's waist circumference is 75 centimeters. So the length of A is 2 times 75, which is 150 centimeters. The length of B is 2 times A, which is 3 meters, and the length of C is 3 times A, which is 5.7 meters. I know it's a lot, but of course you can always adjust the pattern to your liking. And now about the heights, because this is looking like high school math. First of all, it's not that scary, hear me out. The first thing that you want to keep in mind is that C has the biggest height of all of the tires. Then it is followed by A for comfort reasons, you wouldn't want to be sitting on seams, and B comes last. You can adjust them to your liking. I suggest that C is 40 centimeters as this is a comfortable length. And don't forget that all of this includes seam allowance and, in the case of C, hemming. First, you need to trace all of your pattern pieces onto your fabric. If you're using a stretchy fabric, make sure that the stretch is lengthwise. But regular fabric works out just fine. Here we have a zipper. It is very important that you get your lines to be as straight as possible. This skirt is made of big rectangles, so if they end up looking more like triangles, the skirt would look super weird. Not that I would not support a skirt made out of triangles, but this is a whole different vibe. This is a point where I give a little tip. Always make sure that your fabric has proper corners. That means that all of its sides come together at a 90-degree angle. Use a triangle to make sure of it. This is going to make your life literally so much easier and has the potential to make it into hell if you don't take it into account. After cutting everything, you need to loop each tire. Put together all pieces of each tire and make a giant loop of each. Don't forget to zigzag stitch literally every raw edge that you can see. If you gather the tires with raw edges, it's going to come apart in your hands. And besides that, if you try to zigzag stitch the raw edges after gathering, given that your skirt has survived, your sewing machine won't, and anyways the seams will end up looking way too bulky. What I'm doing here is matching the tires together. You need to pin the top side of the bigger piece to the bottom side of the smaller piece. You can do this by folding your loop in half and then in half again, lengthwise, to divide it in 4. Then match the pins of each tire so that you pin them together. The pairing is C to B, gather and sew, and then B to A, gather and sew. Look how pretty the ruffles turned out. Not to shake my own hand here, but even though I was so stressed about the fabric looking good, it turned out great. And because we do not gatekeep in this house, I asked for this fabric as drapey cotton for a skirt with elasticity lengthwise. you do not need an elastic fabric, but at first my plan was to add an elastic in the waist, but I abandoned it as it turned out way too bulky. I don't really like it, so let's see how it will go with the waistband. This is how the skirt should look like before you fix your waist. It looks enormous, but I promise that you can make it work. For reference, the size of the hanger is about the size of my waist. Okay, for some reason we have no footage of this part, so I'm going to recreate it. Let's pretend that this is our skirt. These are our basting stitches, our longest stitch on our machine. These are obviously not machine stitches, but like, bear with me. How you're going to gather? You take the edges that you have left non-secured and you just like gently tug until your skirt reaches the desired length. Let's say that this is our desired length. Let's pretend that this is D. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold once, fold twice, place the skirt inside. This rhymed, it was unintentional, I promise, and then fold this in half over the skirt, so when we sew this down, it will hold everything in place. Let's pretend that everything is being held in place. Just like this. So you're going to sew here and then here again to keep everything nice and flat. And then once you have done this, again this is our skirt, this is D, you're going to sew over D, E, which is the waistband that will be shown when you wear the skirt. I will explain this part using the finished skirt. So you have sewn D over the skirt and it is gathered and it is great. Now it is time to sew E over D. Again, you will do the same thing that we did for D, which is you take your piece, you fold it and you fold it, and then you fold it, and here is where you put the skirt and then you top stitch. The thing is, you have to attach the bottom flap. The problem with this is while this part has no problem being twice as thick, here you have your zipper, and this means that it needs to unzip. So while this encases the skirt and this also encases the skirt, this cannot encase the skirt. This is honestly kind of ugly in the inside, but you can do it better now that you know how you're going to do it. So you need to take into account that you have to cut the second layer here so that you do not encase the skirt and the zipper can actually close. Okay, so let's pretend this is E. I know that it is kind of confusing, but I'm sorry, the footage was lost for some unknown reason. So let's say that the length of your waist is this, and this will be the part that has the bottom flap. You're going to find the middle of this and then cut out the rectangle that will fit the buttons. So you zigzag stitch all over, and so when you fold it in half, this now has the little button flap that you will sew your buttons on, so that way when you wrap it all around the skirt, the zipper can close and this part will not be encasing the skirt. this is the part that we are in right now. You may recognize this outfit if you watched my previous-ish video. Check it out here. The hem needs to be hemmed, and I have made like a flap for a button that needs to have like the button sewn in it, because like you cannot walk around in public like that looking like a duck that has lost its tail. It's inappropriate. So yes, very soon you will have a final reveal, but first watch this baby, this baby, Sparrow.